Hi friends, thanks for joining me again. Today we're going to work on 2 more spreads in the altered book journal that I call So the Adventure Begins. This is a design team project that I'm doing with Studio 28E. The kit I'm using is called the Adventurous C, and I will put the link to it down in the description box. If you're new here, thank you so much for tuning in. And if you are a returning friend, I really appreciate the support. If you've never created an altered book, but you were curious on how to do that, the first video in this little series, I go over some steps that you can take to prep an altered book. Altered books and junk journals are similar, but they are not the same. And basically, they're not the same because with a junk journal, you create your own signatures, and with an altered book you actually leave some original pages in the book and embellish them the way that you'd like to. There may be more to it than that, but in short, that pretty much sums it up. So at any rate, let's get focused on our first spread here. And so on the left-hand side of the spread, you'll see a light colored piece of paper with a beautiful seahorse printed on it. And that is going to be a nice journaling area. And then on the right-hand side of the spread, it is not part of the Digi kit. It's from an antique print that I found, and I felt like it went so well with this digital kit that I wanted to use it inside of my book. Excuse the Purell and the Fabri-Tac. I'm using that actually to hold down this piece that I just glued on there. Sometimes I like to put a little weight on the pieces just to make sure that they stick down really well. While the right side is drying, I'm just working on some embellishments on the left side. I have a nice set of metallic markers made by Sharpie, and I use them a lot actually. And so I am tracing around the edge of this print just to give a little pop to it, a little dimension. I find that taking the time to add little details like that, when everything comes together, it really has a big impact. I'm doing the same thing with the embellishments on the other side of the spread. I'm just, tracing around with my metallic marker, and it just gives it's almost like having another piece of paper underneath. You know how we layer things, and it gives it that little bit of extra, texture and whatnot. Well, when I draw around the edges, I feel like it gives a very similar look. I will have a picture of the completed page at the end of this video. If you were able to watch the first video in this series, you saw that I was able to create chipboard using some items from my recycling bin. So on one side of this Chobani cardboard, there is a picture from the Digi kit. And now I'm putting on the other side another picture from the Digi kit that happens to have lines on it, which will be perfect for journaling. So now I have turned these recycles into beautiful journaling cards. While you're watching me create these and fast forward, I just wanted to say I hope everybody's able to take care of themselves, both physically and mentally. And that's one of the reasons that I love creating things so much, is because it really helps with my stress level, and it makes me so happy. So I hope that you guys can find things that make you happy as well. Now I'm laying the foundation for this second spread here for this video. And this paper, which is part of the Digi kit, has this water effect on it, and I love it. Now I'm ready to prep these journaling cards, so I'm going to punch a hole in each of them. And remember, they're like chipboard now. They're nice and thick because I used that cardboard, so I don't need to worry about paper tearing or anything like that when I put the ribbon through. So I have chosen a nice satin ribbon. It's kind of like a navy blue, and it's about 1 inch wide, and I think it matches perfectly. And next I'm going to create the pockets that I want these cards to slide into. I've decided to use these little bags that I bought. I bought them a while back and I found them on clearance, and they have come in handy. I've used them in a couple of altered books so far. So at any rate, I'm going to go ahead and decorate the front of the bags. And I'm going to use pieces from the DigiKit, but I'm also going to use some pieces from a book about Aristotle Onassis, and he had a boat that he enjoyed so much, and he called it the Christine. So I was able to take some of the pages out of that book and use them in this book. So I think that's kind of perfect. Also, you'll see some light blue at the top of those paper bags that I'm going to use. That's some beautiful aqua blue duct tape, and I use it just so the bag doesn't tear in the future. If you're putting the journaling tuck, if you're taking that in and out a couple of times, I don't want the paper to tear. So I just reinforce it with this pretty matching duct tape, and that seems to work pretty well. I'm just going to use some double stick tape on the back of the book pages to adhere them to the little paper bags. Everything on this spread here is from the DigiKit except for these black and white photos. So I figure I'll give you guys a little update on the state of Florida. Our governor has issued, I guess, pretty much a lockdown for the state, and there are troopers at the border not allowing people from other states to come in, and so really it'll only be able to go out for essential stuff like food, and they're even encouraging us to do like order it online and then just drive up and have somebody bring it to the car, or even to have it delivered to the house if that's available. So that's a little, a little change going on here, but they did say that people could go out and exercise as long as they, of course, keep the 6-foot distance, like if they're passing one another on the sidewalk or something like that. And I do think it's important for people to be able to enjoy some fresh air and sunshine if they're able to, because I feel like it's good for mental health and well-being. Right now, our weather is pretty nice. Yesterday, we had a little bit of some cooler weather. Today, it's warmed up again, and it's a bit more humidity. But still, it's nice. The sun is shining, and there's a little breeze, and it's in the low 80s. So I know for some of you that are still having cold weather, that's probably sounding pretty nice right now. My daughter's home from college, so I am enjoying seeing her. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do an artistic photo shoot with my daughter in our backyard pretty soon, so that should be fun. I'll have some photos of the finished pages coming up. If you've enjoyed watching me put these spreads together, smash that like button and subscribe to my page. Also, you can follow me on Instagram if you'd like. Thanks for watching. See you soon.